Hi guys, Mrs. Niklash here. I'm just checking in for kids that are choosing to write the essay. If you are not writing the essay, this video would not be for you. If you're choosing to do the WeVideo movie project, there are directions in this latest post about how to sign up for your free account and how to start to build your movie using WeVideo. There's specific instructions in this. For the kids that are doing the slides, there's also different instructions for you as well. So this video just applies to my kids that are choosing to write the essay. So we're going to be using 7 of these, and actually more than 7, probably 9 once you figure it all out, of these templates. And I put these on Google Classroom for you to print off. If you don't have access to a printer, you really can just make your own here on a piece of paper. This should not be new, okay? These are elaborated paragraphs from Empower. When I taught ELA and social studies, we use these all the time. I'm hopeful that you use them in 4th and 5th grade and you're still using them right now in your ELA classes. If not, hopefully my instructions will help, and I'm assuming that I'm going to probably need to have an online conference time for kids that just have some questions, and we'll provide some more. I can provide some more support for you during that time. So this is my first one. And this is my introductory paragraph. And you're going to start with a creative hook about your pandemic. Remember, a hook is something that really interests the reader to read your essay that you wrote. I can post another post for you that shows you some examples of some creative hooks if you need some support there. And then basically what you're going to do is you're just going to give a brief preview of choice over your pandemic of choice, and then the COVID-19. This is just a preview. It's just a big idea piece that really kind of introduces the reader to what they're going to be reading about. And then your so what statement for that would be the compare and contrast statement about pandemics. So what is your so what that you want to leave the reader with at this point, okay? And then again, when you do your say more, after you make your claims, your small little claims here, you can include data, quotes, paraphrasing, and paraphrase facts to support your thinking there. Okay? So for any FRED you have, you need to have a say more to show that it is not just something you believe, but you have evidence to prove it. So this would be my paragraph number 2, and if you and this would be my location paragraph. I'm starting with a mini claim about the location's impact on your pandemics that you've chosen. So then again, you are breaking it down to absolute location of COVID-19, absolute location of your chosen pandemic. And remember, your say mores must include, data, facts, quotes, etc. This is the evidence that is proving your fact about absolute location true. You do the same here with for your chosen pandemic, for your relative location for COVID, your relative location for your chosen pandemic, and then your so what for this would be your lasting idea about pandemic's location. I would include that in a compare and contrast format because this is a compare and contrast paper. Again, make sure for every FRED you have a say more. Otherwise, your FRED is not credible. You have to have evidence to prove your FRED is credible. This is my third paragraph. This is going to be my claim about place and its connection to pandemics. That's going to be my mini claim here. And then here I'm going to include my FREDs, my facts, reasons, examples, and details. Okay, again, coming back to what are FREDs, they're facts, reasons, examples, and detail that you can include to support this, okay? So human place of COVID-19, human place of your chosen pandemic. Again, making sure you're having those say mores for every FRED you have down. Your physical place for your COVID-19 in your physical place for your chosen pandemic. And then your lasting idea about pandemic's place, both pandemic's place, and again, that should be in a compare and contrast format. So when you're looking at this, every FRED you have supports this mini claim, okay? And every FRED is supported by that say more, okay? And then this just ties it up at the end. My next one would be movement. Same idea here, a claim about movement and its connection to the pandemics. Movement of people, Again, I'm going to have a say more. Movement of people for my chosen. Movement of goods for COVID. Movement of goods for people. Movement of ideas. And if you notice here, I put a X through this so what, because we're going to need 2 pages for this one. And I also put it at the top here for that, because we're not going to use that at this point because we already did it the other page. Movement of ideas for my chosen pandemic. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to have my lasting idea about movements connection to pandemics, my compare and contrast piece here. Okay, again, making sure that every Fred supports that claim and every say more supports the Fred. My 5th paragraph is going to be my region paragraph. This is where I make a claim about regions and its connection to pandemics. I have my human region for COVID, and then my for chosen, my physical region for my COVID, and my physical region for my chosen. Again, my lasting idea about regions in the pandemics, and again, that needs to be in compare and contrast. So again, all of my facts support this claim, and all of my Freds are supported by my say more. So if you're going to have a Fred, you have to have a say more. My next one is human environment interaction, paragraph 1 of 2, because there's a lot of parts to this one. Claim about human environment interaction and its connection to the pandemics. So how do people adapt in COVID-19 and your chosen pandemic? How do people modify or change the land in COVID-19 and your chosen pandemic? How do people depend? And again, crossing this out because I'm not using this one for COVID. And how do people depend for your chosen? And then again, coming down here and making that lasting idea about human environment interaction and pandemics. It needs to be a compare and contrast closing idea there. And my last paragraph is going to be my conclusion paragraph. And this is going to sum everything up and tie everything up. So this is going to be another claim you're going to make comparing both of your pandemics. But remember, do not repeat your original claim you made on your first page, okay? You have to figure out a way to state the comparison in a creative way, but it cannot be the same, okay? It needs to be, you need to just give a brief overview of location for both, for place for both, movement. And again, this is not deep. It's just restating what you've already stated in the paper. Brief movement of comparison, brief movement of region, brief movement of, brief HEI comparison. So again, please, these are just one single idea thinking here, okay? It doesn't have to be very complex. You are just kind of rephrasing what you already said in all your other paragraph templates 1 through 6, okay? Again, this can be no new ideas. So anything you're including in your conclusion cannot be new. You must have had stated it somewhere else in your paper. And then this is the last idea you're leaving the reader with. This is your creative big picture idea that you want your reader to walk away with. Okay? Now I know this is going to take you some time, and I will take pictures and put this all in Google Classroom for you. I know this is going to take some time, but I think if you use this statement or this structure to write your paper, it will go much smoother. So then from this paper, you will write your rough draft eventually, not yet. We're just filling out these frames. So again, just a reminder, your hook, your factor opinion that's at the very top here, this is your big idea, always must be supported by every Fred. So every one of those Freds must support that piece. Oops, sorry, not too good at doing this. Okay, so every Fred, okay, and every Fred is supported by a say more. If you are going to write a Fred, you have to have a say more to support that. And then your so what is your lasting idea you want that reader to have about the paragraph, okay? This is the lasting idea that's really going to still keep their interest when talking about, because this is your introduction, compared to when you get to your conclusion, which will be your summed up idea, your last idea you want somebody to walk away with when comparing your chosen pandemic with COVID-19. So I'm going to post these pictures for you, and I will hold a question and answer session for you. We can, if you need some support. but hopefully you have some experience using these frames and you're comfortable using them. See you soon.